It is your #1 procrastination tool on the internet. It is Chair Shot Reality, 400+ episodes. Here we are, coming from the beautiful studios in downtown Pittsburgh at Point Park University. Chair Shot Reality on Wrestling Inc. Make sure you subscribe, download, and if you don't want to see this pretty face, you can always just listen to the audio version across iTunes and all the audio platforms. You probably will want to see her. Back, queen of the silver screen, Miss Katie Arquette. Summer just wasn't the same not having her on the screen. We've got her back here just in time for the fall. How are you, lady?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. You're back. Juice isn't here. It's a great trade.
I know. Why is he not here?
Well,
I'm very upset.
I had to pick between one of you.
Aww.
And there was you.
That works.
There was you. Katie, we got a great top story to talk about. It's been what the wrestling world is buzzing about this week. And there's a lot of things to buzz about. Of course, there was a success of All In last Saturday in Chicago. Big congrats to everybody involved with that. But even topping that, it comes out of the WWE world, and that is a surprise appearance by The Undertaker on Monday Night Raw, a holiday episode of Monday Night Raw, mind you, on Labor Day Monday, as he confronts Shawn Michaels. They're doing the big build to Triple H versus Undertaker one more time in Melbourne, Australia. But
yeah,
just
one.
Just one.
Just one more time.
You better watch it. You're never going to see it again.
Never, ever. It's never going to happen again.
Well, in the mix of them promoting to that match, it took like a detour of Shawn Michaels saying, all these legends are picking Taker to win, but Taker lost a streak. I know Triple H he's tougher than Taker. He's going to be more cerebral. He's the assassin. And then Taker comes out and taunts Shawn. And the gist of it comes down to Shawn saying, out of respect, I've never came out of retirement. I respect you so much. I've stayed away even despite all the $1 million offers I've had. And Taker goes, it's not out of respect, it's out of fear. Mm-hmm. So you know this as a wrestler. This is planting a seed 101, right? For,
oh, yeah.
They're not done, maybe?
No, they're not done. He's going to come back. There's never an end of retirement. They're always going to come back out of retirement and spin something else up. And of course, it's against The Undertaker. And of course, Undertaker made an amazing appearance on Monday Night Raw. And of course, Shawn had to be there as well. And I'm excited to see what this one last time is going to be. Well,
because one last time between Triple H and Undertaker, Shawn said he's going to be in Australia. So that's usually hint, hint. He's not going to be at ringside.
Oh yeah, he'll be at ringside, either as just DX reunion, or he's going to come out as specialty ref, or the ref's something's going to happen and he'll come out.
And Shawn it is accurate. He's turned down. They've wanted him to do matches against Daniel Bryan, who he trained. He's openly said that him and AJ Styles was tossed around, and he hasn't done what so many others have done in terms of coming out of retirement. And the only way I could see this actually truly happening, him versus The Undertaker one more time, 8 years later after the retirement went down, is if Taker says, I'm going to have my last match, and I want it to be against you. That's the only request that I could see Shawn saying he couldn't turn down, is if the man that he respects so much in Mark Calloway and The Undertaker says, I want you to be my last match. Let's do this one more time.
Then I can believe that. I can believe that can be the one last time, especially with it being against him. He had his chance, 21-1, and he wasn't that one, so he wants that rematch if necessary. And Undertaker's like, you know what? I want you to be my last match, the actual last match.
So then you go, okay, the venue, WrestleMania is the only, you think, appropriate place to do it, but as I say that, they have all these one-off shows they're doing. The Melbourne, Australia show coming up here, the Super Show, and it looks like they're going to be involved for the next decade in Saudi Arabia. They did the show in Saudi Arabia this past April with the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was huge for a lot of cultural reasons, and it looks like they're going to do it again. And so and again, they're getting a lot of money from the royal family over there. So that could be, maybe this isn't a WrestleMania deal. WrestleMania sells itself. Maybe this is a Saudi Arabia attraction that we're building to. At this point, anything's possible.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Anything is possible, especially with the WWE. Anytime. Well, earlier this year when we talked about what was it, the Big Battle Royal or Royal Rumble?
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was across season at a different country.
Yeah,
of course,
Saudi
they're going to
Arabia.
make something this big and this memorable in a completely different side of the world.
And speaking of, we have to mention, speaking of coming out of retirement, how about your uncle, Uncle David Arquette, now back in a wrestling ring?
I know.
And go figure, RJ City drops me of his management, and he winds up with
my family, of course, because RJ City, he thinks he's the lead role. Well, honey, I'm the lead role. And that's my uncle you're dealing with.
He looks good, though.
He does.
For his age. He looks
trying.
good. He's back in a wrestling ring. If you haven't seen it already, go find it. David Arquette had a match against RJ City in Hollywood earlier this year, and then now they're tag teaming. They just tag team in Chicago, so who knows?
There's more to come.
Maybe they'll find their way further east. We'll have to wait and see. All right, that's going to be enough in this segment for Katie and I. Let's go down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where we got to have Josh Eisenberg. Josh, I ask you, why?
Why? Why in the world was SmackDown Live's main event The Miz versus R-Truth? Why? Why WWE do you think that's a great idea, even though Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella saved it? But that's not my bigger why here. Why, for 4.5 months, do you build a woman in the women's division on SmackDown Live as champion, as a full-fledged heel where she's not getting cheered at all, and that's exactly what you want? Why do you put her with someone who is genuinely liked in R-Truth? What's the point of having Carmella in the corner in that match for the sole purpose of only her being on television? That makes absolutely no sense to me. If you're going to do that, if you're going to put somebody in his corner, why not a Naomi? Nobody cares about her feud with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. What about an Asuka? She has nothing else to do. Hell, make Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville faces, because you could certainly use more faces on SmackDown Live. But no, instead of doing that, instead of making a logical decision, you make an illogical decision and make Carmella a face now? Why is she with R-Truth? What does she care about The Miz and Maurice? What does it matter for the former SmackDown Women's Champion aside from trying to get that championship back? Why? And why in the world is Drake Maverick with the Authors of Pain? Anybody? Anybody? This is 205 Live, not 305 Live. I'm going to be optimistic though. I'm going to hold off for my extremely full-on blast judgment, but get him out of that ridiculous SWAT team suit. Drake Maverick looks like he's a little child in a man's world, and this is nothing against him because I think he's a great wrestler, I think he's a great personality, and he's been nothing but very entertaining as 205 Live Commissioner. But what's the point of the 205 Live Commissioner now on Raw carrying a team like the Authors of Pain to... Well, realistically, they're probably not going to be tag team champions in the near future, and people probably don't take them seriously because Drake Maverick is not an established manager. If you really wanted the Authors of Pain to be important, if you really wanted to build the Authors of Pain up more, I can name a lot of people. Paul Ellering, bring him back. He made sense. Paul Heyman. Where's Paul Heyman going? I'd rather see Paul Heyman on TV each week with these monsters of destruction, maybe destructing a monster down the road. But why? What is the decision behind Drake Maverick leading two 300-pound monsters on the Raw roster whenever now he has to travel to Raw, he has to travel to SmackDown because 205 Live's at their SmackDown? Makes absolutely no sense to me, WWE. Please explain this to me. Why? And last but not least, why on SmackDown Live did it seem like there was a lack of star power? I know Brian in Philadelphia agrees with me. I know Brian in Sacramento probably agrees with me. I know all of the CSR fans, well, that was only 2. Probably that's not, anyway. But why in the world would you not have Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, albeit great video packages? Why would you not have AJ Styles or Samoa Joe in a match? Why would you not have Shinsuke Nakamura being a relevant part of this? Because he is your United States champion, and you're trying to do something with Nakamura with his mid-card championship reign with the United States of Knock America. I think it's a great idea, but you're not putting those guys on TV. You're putting R-Truth on TV. You're putting 2, 3, 4 segments of women, no offense to women whatsoever, on TV, and you're banking. You're banking on a tag team tournament, another triple threat match to be the match on SmackDown Live to carry the 2-hour show. There are a lot of good things on SmackDown. Charlotte and Becky, fantastic. I loved it. Asuka saving Naomi, okay, I'm fine with that. No big deal. It is what it is. But why would you not have Shinsuke Nakamura in a match? Why would you not have an opponent picked out for Shinsuke Nakamura, especially when Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton are too occupied with themselves? If you really wanted to do something in particular and really something more important, have Shinsuke Nakamura go back to being a face. Have him save Jeff Hardy. They're more comfortable styles together than Nakamura and Randy Orton's, but I would love to see a heel Randy Orton versus a face Shinsuke Nakamura. That makes more sense to me. But instead you're taking Nakamura off of television, you're making people forget it, you're taking all the steam out his engine, even though there's not a lot of steam left right now at this point, unfortunately, for one of my favorite people. But why? Why not put Shinsuke Nakamura on TV each week? He should be one of the 3 pieces on SmackDown that are either in a match or in a segment every single week. I don't care if he can't speak English as well as people need him to. His entrance, his aurora, his music, everything about him should be on SmackDown. Do not take him off again. Why?